So I came through this corridor, and this is where I'm going to be doing the conference. And this is Andy, who has been helping me with this. And I looked around the corner, and I'm going to be on there. And it's not going to be filled up though, luckily.
I guess it is.
God, imagine that. I have spoken in front of this a room this size before, but I was rubbish at public speaking then. And I'm going to be there. That's a really nice stand. I like that stand. So it's Thursday, it's the day after the conference I did, and what a great day it was. I wasn't sure what to expect from it, but I've definitely learnt a lot in terms of blended learning and all these different projects that are going on. And my big mug shot is going to be up there.
Oh yes.
And this is going to be broadcasted to Canada and Australia, live.
Yeah.
All right, I was wondering about time zone differences and that.
No, they're staying up.
They're staying up. They've been eager. Jeez. The amount of people that came up to me and the questions at the end, there was so much input. I don't know how to explain it because I always have believed that this is such an underrated medium to help with education and many other areas of life. But I think because a lot of these people that applauded me, who are professors, doctors and specialists in this field, have said such great things that I think it's given me the reassurance I need. Just out here. I haven't planned a speech, which is a problem. Well, I sort of know the slides, but you know what I'm like with my videos. I just pretend I'm doing a video and then that will fill up the 40 minutes pretty good. I can call you Dr. Richard Hall.
No, you can call me Richard.
Okay. With me is Richard from
From De Montfort University in Leicester. Here at the conference, we've been talking primarily about the use of Web 2 tools.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine, don't worry, we're going to go again. Web 2 tools are primarily anything that's controllable, workable, changeable by the user. So, it might be a blog or their Facebook account, or if they're using a tool like Delicious, which allows you to kind of carry around kind of your bookmarks of your resources that you like. But the critical thing is that they're owned by you. You don't need to know web programming or anything. You can build your own stuff. You can control it, and you can let other people see it and critique it and give you feedback and that kind of thing. So it builds networks.
And what are your goals in terms of how far do you think you can go in the education system, and what are the limitations that are stopping it from happening now? Because we've got the tools now, but...
The limitations, I think, are in people's mindsets, in terms of how they think that those tools should be deployed to support students and to support learning. Primarily because, we still have this obsession with lectures and seminars and essays and exams, and it locks us into particular ways of thinking, And yet, these other tools allow for participation, allow us to kind of work with other people outside universities and get, talk to them about their worldview and about what they think about bits of content or ideas or concepts or whatever, and it allows us to kind of bring those things back in and discuss them, So
it's more abstract intelligence.
I think it is, but it allows us to connect in kind of more emotional ways as well. These tools allow me to talk to you about politics or citizen participation in the world or taking action. Well, we don't really talk about those in higher education, but we should do. Because we should be trying to work with our students and ourselves as staff, to make the world a better place, actually.
Yeah, it's about life.
It is about life.
It's not about education and you're in your little box, it's how do you apply it out there. In the lecture I gave, I discussed the many skills I had obtained from vlogging over the past 2 years. I proposed how I believed that the education system could benefit so much if vlogging was to be implemented into the system. Now, a key element to all this is how I began vlogging and what attracted me to the idea of broadcasting yourself to the world. I of course mentioned how Peter's Geriatric 1927's first video gave me the first push, and how the video responses people posted to that made me realise we all have a chance to be heard. I thought, can I do that? I'll give it a go. So set up a camera, videoed it, uploaded it, and I think within 24 hours I got about 20 views, but compared to, without me doing it, that was a step up, we'd all agree. And I had about 1 or 2 comments of people who said interesting views, and we had a discussion through comments. And that was the start. Now, 2 years on, I've obtained over 13,500 subscribers. I've had over almost 4 million views. And it has given me so many opportunities in life, like what I'm doing here today. and it has made me evolve as a person. Now, this is something I'm very passionate about, and the reason I'm here today is to talk about how it can help the education system, because if anything can help develop us as individuals and as people, we should use it in any medium we can that is possible.
And I think just from doing stuff like this, it's really nice to sort of use my passion in a constructive sense, because it's all I've ever wanted to do, and I've had to really self-motivate such things, you know, on YouTube. All the projects I do is because I really want to get the message out there, and you know, it is paying off.
Now, I just want to say that the thing about vlogging that appeals to me the most is some people tend to disagree, and that's fair enough. We can have a discussion later. Is that I think it's one of the purest forms of creativity. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, the purest form of creativity is the fact that you take anything that someone might do. They might like to report news articles, they might like to play in a band, they may do art, or they may just like to speak about philosophy or politics. Now, all these elements can be incorporated into a video. You can use bits of everything, or you can use just one. And a site like YouTube gives you the ability to push all this out there and to see if you can find other people on the same wavelength, so it allows the sharing of ideas. Now, I'm just going to show you now a clip of when I started 2 years ago, and you will see how I've actually changed the difference.
Hey everyone, my name is Myles, as a lot of you probably know, because I probably have sent you a message on MSN, MySpace, what have you, telling you to check this out.
I won't let you cringe too much, but already you can see I'm slouching, I'm not looking at the camera completely, and there's lacks of confidence. I mean, it takes a degree of confidence to put yourself up there, but I was, you know, sort of out there not sure about it. Now, over the process of 2 years, I've managed to go from vlogging to going to events. Last year in the summer I went to America, where I actually stayed around the homes of people who watch my videos. Now, many people think that's crazy. There's a lot of negative media in the news, but I believe that, you know, the people who put themselves out there, they do it in hope that other people will be true to themselves. So from that, I became a speaker at gatherings. I organised these gatherings where people in the online community came together, which I believe signifies and symbolises the fact that, you know, these are real people with real views. And furthermore, it has led to television.
I'm Norm Vaughan, and I come from a wonderful city. It's Calgary, Alberta. But Myles, just in terms of context, I work for both the University of Calgary and a college that's just in the process of becoming a university.
Right.
Sort of like Hertfordshire did a while ago.
And is that over here?
No, it's over in Calgary.
So you've just come over especially for this?
I'm helping out, Myles, again, just as you mentioned in your presentation, it's been fascinating. I've been involved with this conference for 3 years now.
Yeah.
So the first year I didn't get to come, is we just did my session using technology, which was wonderful, but you don't get any sense of community. And again, I was mentioning to Myles earlier, it's been wonderful. I think the networking opportunities once I'm here are great because I'm physically here, but I think we haven't tapped into how we can create that sense of community with these sort of gatherings online yet.
That's interesting, because did you see the Second Life programme?
No, but I know a little bit about Second Life.
Well, it's the fact that within this virtual world, you go to classes, you sit down at a chair in a virtual world, and I think the thing people tend to misinterpret is, as good as it is to have a virtual world,
yeah,
you need the connection from virtual to real world, because if people only learn in a virtual world, how do they cope in the outside world? And the big thing about this is your identity as a member of an online community. Now, online community is something which I could talk to from now to the end of time, but it is the fact that the reason YouTube is so successful is the fact that it's not just a website where you upload videos, it's where people can communicate, and people can get their ideas together, and there is something that's sort of filling in the gaps between these individual videos. So in terms of education, it'd be bridging the gap between teachers and students, which tends to happen a lot in lectures.
Dr. Richard Hall actually posted a blog about my lecture and his views on it the evening after I made it, which is available if you go to the description box. But he was also happy to explain why my lecture appealed to him in the talk we had the next day.
Well, I have to say that it was. So many times you come to conferences and you hear really important stuff about, you know, sort of how to improve the curriculum, in terms of getting students to work together collaboratively or engage with a tool like Ning or whatever it might be.
But it's without experience, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not coming from the student, and I think that's critical. It's not coming from the actual person who this thing is being done to, you know. And I think the critical thing about what you're using your vlog for, really, for me, is about your view of the world, connecting to other people and respecting their views, and how that changes your worldview and how it enables you to reflect as a person, but also then reflect on what you're doing in the curriculum, you know what I mean? You can kind of think, it strikes me from what you were talking about and from having seen your YouTube channel, that you're thinking about your assessments in a more rounded way, you know what I mean?
I've done videos on stuff that I've actually learned in lectures and discussed it on a more open basis.
You know, and one of the things, I mean, we've got some really great students who talk about the fact that they will use MySpace or they will use YouTube in order to present their work, to get feedback from other people who they trust, you know. Not just, why are we just locking ourselves into small groups, you know? There's a world of information, a world of people out there to connect with.
And finally, value systems. The fact knowing who you are, discovering who you are and what you have to offer, because education is a process in learning tools and then being able to use them in the outside world.
And already, because just watching your presentation yesterday and that little YouTube clip they had about, you know, how Gordon Brown, the government suddenly decided they're going to get a YouTube. What I find is there was a fellow Canadian, Marshall McLuhan, talking about how we really are shaped. These tools, it's two ways shaping us. And what I find, our generation is trying to use these tools to shape past practices.
Right.
Whereas Myles, honestly, for you folks, you don't have that baggage that we do, the history. So I'll be honest, it's totally natural. I live in a world where it used to be version 1, version 2, version 3, and I still, you know, my generation calls it Web 2.0.
So it's updating it.
Yeah, but with your generation, think about it, even something like Google or YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear about YouTube bringing out version 1, 2, 3?
No.
It's just, again, it's made on the fly. It's not suddenly, okay, we've got all these bugs, now we have to wait. And they always say,
we just treat it as one entity.
Exactly. Oh, the next version of the VLE, version 3.5 or 300, that'll fix that bug. But when you think of these social networking applications, like anything, Facebook, YouTube, any of them, there's never versions.
That's interesting.
Because it's an iterative process and it's based on that community feedback. And when you think of, again, there's the tools, they're wonderful, but at the end of the day, we have to remember there's people making a lot of money from YouTube, a lot of money from Facebook. But there is a whole other group there as well, a community of sort of open source educational tools in terms of VLEs being created. There's some wonderful, I think the DimDim, YZQ, I can't remember all the terminology, but that's where I find it's really fascinating because the community is involved not only in terms of using these tools for communication opportunities, but in terms of revising them and bridging them.
Yeah, and I guess that not even a metaphor, it is community, but the fact that because it's people's ideas coming together, it's the way the world should be developing anyway. Education's not about just teaching tools, it's about sharing. And do you think vlogging is perhaps the superior out of all the Web 2.0 sort of things? Is superior not the word?
I think my take on it is that we have to offer that kind of approach to students. We have to say to them, does this help you reflect on your work and on yourself?
So it's opportunity, not restricted, this is what you have to do.
Yeah. And sometimes I think we need to make more tools available to our students and talk to them about how they're going to use them. To say, well, you can make good decisions. You make good decisions about, you know, which supermarket you go to and why. About which pub you're going to go to and why. About the fact that you're going to join Amnesty or you're not going to join Amnesty or you're going to take action, you're going to buy that newspaper. Whatever. They're making decisions all the time. They can make decisions about the tools that empower them, and that's the critical thing. For you, it's vlogging. You know, for me, it's social networking tools. It's horses for courses. You know, but they're really powerful things if we use them right.
But I think, you know, I've now been asked to do workshops all around the country for universities and that, and it's like, I don't understand why YouTube doesn't do this, because there's so much potential with people talking about their experiences, and I think that it's not that YouTube don't understand it, they do understand it, but I just don't think they're investing enough in the transfer from the online community to the real world. I mean, they invest a lot of time in the online community, but it doesn't just end there. It's the fact that this can actually revolutionise the world.
Yeah.
I've got to end it there.
I think so.
But thank you very much.
Thanks, Myles.
And this should be up soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers. We're good, yeah.
And something Dr. Richard Hall said was the fact that you're sort of enforcing democracy into into the world by giving everyone a voice, which I think is such a great thing.